Hi, this is Tara Omatosho from Inspired into Action. Today we have Rocquelle Devine here. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself and about her business. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Tara?
I'm doing excellent. I'm doing great. So again, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Well, my name is Rocquelle Devine. I would say my handle and my website are fabulous in the letter in thekitchen.com. And what I do is I host cooking classes or cooking parties, as I like to call them. I am also a cookbook author, and I also do some private chef work, like meal prep.
Oh, that's great. And also, yeah, the private chef work, and also you do some creative things around the house as well, right?
Absolutely. One of my loves, and actually my career before I started this, was in decorating.
Mm.
So I have gotten into thrifting and refabbing furniture, as I like to call it. So that's something I do in my not so existent spare time.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. So, Raquel, could you tell the listeners about what motivated you to start this business?
Well, what motivated me to start the business was I just left decorating and I was looking for some new direction in life. So I began to just listen and get quiet and listen to a lot of the clues around me. I believe that things that move you into action, things that irritate you, can be problems that you're supposed to solve, as well as things that people come to you for automatically, can kind of give you a clue of what your gifts are. So one of the things that I had started doing is I'm always trying to motivate mothers, because I am a mom and I know what it's like. I have 3 kids, so I know what it's like to be really busy and to try and maintain the household and work and everything. So I was challenged to begin cooking more at home. We were eating out quite a bit and it was really harsh on our budget. So I started to cook more at home, and I would just share some of those meals on my social media, never really thinking much of it. I just wanted to inspire other people, let them know what I was cooking, all this and that. And it really began to take off. And so when I got to this juncture in my life, it's one of the things I had to examine. It's like, could there be something in this?
Right.
I kind of put some test questions out there and asked my audience, my target audience, is this if I provided this service, cooking party service, because I didn't want to just do cooking lessons. I like to do fun stuff. I love fun. So I said, if I do cooking parties, you think you guys would be interested if I could teach you how to do this? And I got a very good response. And it's just been growing and growing and growing. And I just decided to ride the wave and eventually wrote a cookbook, which we may touch on a little bit later. But yeah, I began to do those things. And that's how I got in this business.
Wow, that's really great. So your parties consist of, how does that happen? Is it you're teaching, instructing people? I mean, is it like a how-to, or is it just you're just prepping the food and getting it ready for a party? How does that work?
Okay, so the cooking parties they're kind of like a combination of things. They're kind of like cooking lessons and then a fun girlfriends get together. So our typical agendas, we come in, we have some appetizers, we do some icebreaker games, fun things. If it's a small group ones, we're getting to know each other through our icebreaker. If it's a big one, we'll do a big fun game with, crazy stuff like the audience hollering at the contestants and all that stuff. So we do that, and then everyone has a seat. And I show them some meals, and they do some things at their seat as well. And I walk them through some things. And I always do a segment where I share a lot of quick tips and clues for people in the audience. And then we do some giveaways and prizes, and we eat and we let everybody go.
Oh, that sounds like a great thing. That sounds like a great idea. So how long have you been doing this? And during the time that you've been doing the parties and the cooking and writing the cookbook, and also you're refabbing furniture, what are some challenges that you've faced, or that that you think that you can share with us so that we can learn? If someone is interested in doing something similar to you, what are some things that they can avoid that you've been through?
Oh, wow. I would say one of my biggest mistakes is a part of my brand is the name Fabulous. So I love to be fabulous beyond my budget. That's not good for business.
Right.
Because in business, you don't want to do stuff just to do it. You want to be profitable.
Right.
So I have had to learn to still give a great product, but don't overextend myself in giving it. You know, you want to give where people do, they feel like they're walking away with value, but you don't want it to be, you know, cost you or your family or whoever's funding you. So all of my events are self-funded. I don't do any credit cards for anything that I do, any products I develop or anything. But I had to learn to really count up the costs accurately, charge people correctly so that everyone walks away happy.
Right, so, that's good. I know that's really important because a lot of times when, especially new business owners, we start out, we want to give a lot, or we want to show people all that we can do because we're so excited, and that's a great thing. But sometimes you do run yourself into a hole, and you're like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be this much. I didn't know it was going to take this much time.
Exactly.
And you're like, man, I should have maybe charged more. And if you would have just said so, people would be willing to pay. But
Right.
because you didn't say, they think this is what is normal.
Absolutely. And a lot of times, especially if you have a big imagination like I do, what is your over the top? You know what I'm saying? Like what you think isn't good is really good to people. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? So yeah. Your good is really great to people.
Right. They don't know if you're over the top. It's like, you're like, this is just mediocre. This is fine. Yeah. But yeah. You're over the top is like, wow. And you might, and the thing is, a lot of times I have a lot of wow ideas for people and business owners, and they get overwhelmed. I mean, overwhelmed. And you don't want to do that to the people that you're working with.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So learning to harness that is very important. Learning to harness that, still get your product out, you know, still give people value, and you walk away with value. Getting that packaged together is very important.
Yeah, that is very true. So in regards to being an entrepreneur, what are some skills that you can share with the listeners on, you know, like just how to be the best entrepreneur they could be? What are some things that you think that they should be working towards or working on in their lives and in their business?
Well, there are a lot of things. I'll just name a few. One of them is you have to stay inspired. Figure out what inspires you, you know, and get in contact with that every day. For many of us, I know you and I, it's probably reading the Bible or listening to sermons. I also like to look at beautiful things. That inspires me. Getting magazines and flipping through them, that inspires me. On my social media, I connect with people that make me think or inspire me to go higher. That encourage me, that push me. So because you can get in this and you can get tired, or you can get dull, or you can get busy with other things. Yes. So staying inspired every day is absolutely key, as well as being determined and having a willingness to work. So I call it DIP: determination, inspiration, and preparation. Perspiration. That's that sweat.
Preparation. Preparation is good too. You gotta be prepared. Yeah. No, you do. I mean, if you think you have a great idea and it's going to be a great idea, you need to be prepared for that windfall of business to come through. Because if you aren't, then you're just going to get totally caught off guard. I was talking to someone about that recently. They launched a t-shirt business, and they knew it was going to be successful, but I don't think they thought about, like, what if this becomes really, really successful? And it became really big. Wow. So much so that they weren't prepared for all the calls and all the things. So they had to refuse some things. So you do have to be prepared. You have to think big. Like, when I start this venture, people are going to really invest in it and think positive about what you're starting. But then why start, you know?
That's right. That is so true. You know, when I wrote my cookbook, I was completely blindsided by all of that. All I saw was the couple people. I mean, of course, I never do anything to be small, but it really took way off. And what I did not expect was so many people inboxing me and emailing me, come and do this, be in this magazine, do this interview, do. And honestly, I couldn't manage it all. I consider myself to be a very administrative person, and I felt awful because I couldn't manage it all. And I had that's just an area that I did not expect to have to deal with.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, you don't know how to deal with it, and you should just, when you're going to launch something, I've seen it several times happen to many business owners. Just prepare that it's going to take off, and just know what you're going to do when it does.
Yeah.
Because it is oftentimes it's a great idea. That's because God has given it to you, and you're acting on it, and you're following what He's already laid out for the plans for you, and it's going to be successful. You're going to win. So just walk in knowing you win, and expect to be seen as a winner. You know.
Exactly right. That's exactly.
Yeah. So if someone wanted to start a party planning. Not party planning, but sort of like a cooking thing like you, or maybe they're interested in, starting something, a business of your type. What are some action steps, some like key action steps that they can take away from this interview and say, well, I can start this because I heard the interview with Rocquelle Devine and she said to do these 3 things, and these 3 things I did, and I could take off in business. What would be those things that you could share with them?
I would absolutely advise them to write their vision down. So many people are not really clear about what they want to do, exactly what they want the outcome to be, what their goals are. And we keep a lot of things in our head. So I would absolutely encourage them to write them down, get clear about what it is that you want to do. That's the only way you'll really be able to execute it, is if you have a written plan. Next, I would also advise them to get a mentor. Get someone in your life and you may have to pay for that. It may be a cost involved, but you could really get past a lot of hurdles and accelerate a lot more if someone can say, hey, don't do that, I did that, that's not a good way to go, or consider this or consider that, to really help you get clarity on your business. Yes.
All right, great. And lastly, just take action. I mean, that's what
take action. I see so many people with so many big ideas, and I was the same way. I had ideas years before I ever did anything on my own. Like, I've had a million different ideas, but you have to take action. So, yes. And start small. Even the main purpose is getting some momentum. So many times people see the big picture and they want to do everything at once, If you have all those things and people and places, go for it. But I would say start somewhere. Start with what you have. Take some action.
And another thing that you do that is good. You have daughters. Well, you have children, like you said, and I know that you reach more than just your children. But I see you on social media encouraging your children or helping them to see the potential in them, so that they don't have to start out where you started out. They could start out at a younger age. And I think that's really great, a great thing that you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely. In this social media age, especially our young people, they're on there wasting time.
Right.
They're out there wasting time. And I just don't believe in wasting a lot of time. My kids will tell you, if you don't have a plan, I will give you one. Time is valuable. And also, I try and get my girls in particular, all of my kids, but my girls they're out of high school. So I try and get them to really maximize the season that they're in. They don't have kids. Right now, they don't have any steady boyfriends. They're, of course, not married. So value that time, make something out of it. Do something positive with it. Do something productive, Don't just be another pretty face or just another person posting selfies,
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yes, so have a purpose. So I push them all the time. I tap their potential. I push them. I promote them as well. And I just want to see them be productive and you don't have to wait later in life to do something great with your life.
Really great. Thank you again for taking this time out to talk with us and share your wisdom with us. I know that something that was shared in this interview will definitely benefit a business owner or a new business owner in their trail or their path through their business and creating a better one for themselves.
Well, thank you so much for thinking of me and the opportunity to share with your audience. I certainly appreciate you.
All right, great. Have a good day.
You too.